I'm about to say a word that for a lot of you is a little bit of a jump scare. Audit week. Now for most plants that means two things, screenshots and a prayer. Someone has to spend weeks combing through spreadsheets and reporting systems. You have to chase down operators that were on shift 3 months ago. And if you do manage to get all of these systems working and reporting, you better hope that the auditor doesn't ask for something that you just don't have in the data. But here's the thing. IATF 16949, that thing that determines whether your plant passes or fails your audit, it doesn't ask you to produce everything. It simply asks you to retain it and to make it something that you can pull out when you need it. So today I'm going to show you how you can make your auditable evidence a query and not a project. Hey there, my name is Christopher Sandoval. I'm the Developer Relations Advocate here at Flowfuse. So let's dive right into this implementation and make your audit nightmares a dream come true. So let's start with what a good solution looks like. Here you have your audit dashboard. What this dashboard basically does is give you all of the information that you would need to answer a generalized auditing question right from the get-go. So in our top line, we have the number of units started, our first pass yield, our defect rate, and so on. The more interesting piece here is the ability to look into specific serial numbers. So if I go down to the area that says nonconformances, I can choose any of these serial numbers. Let's say this one. Then I can go up to this genealogy lookup, paste it in, I can hit enter, and then get a full unit history for that particular serial number. It'll give me what tests it's passed and failed, who the operator was, the material lot, basically the entire unit history. Now this gives you per unit information, but if I wanted generalized information, I need something a little bit more complex. So inside of the Flowfuse Expert, I can ask those more complex questions. If I select our MCP server, and I ask it a very complex question, then what I get out as my feedback is the answer to this question and all of the context around it. And as you can see, I have this complete audit readiness briefing for this line for the last 7 days. It gives me all the generalized data that I need, but it also summarizes all of the constituent parts. So I can take a look at this and know exactly where I'm going to run into issues. And then from here, I can take any of these questions and drill down. And with the Flowfuse Expert, I'm not just getting the problem, I'm getting potential issues that I should look into and variability that might help me to actually affect change on this issue. So that's what good looks like, but how do we actually build this? So the first step, of course, is bringing all of your data in. Now all of this data is simulated, but you could pull any of this off of a PLC or a backend server. The important thing is we're pulling in all of this data and then we're writing it to Flowfuse Tables. Flowfuse Tables is one of our native database solutions. But you don't have to use Flowfuse Tables. You could use Redis or SQLite or really anything. As long as you're able to write this data and recall it, you can write this to any service that you want. Now with this data in the system, we need to figure out how we make it actually surfaceable. The first way is by using a dashboard. Now anyone who uses Flowfuse or Node-RED is familiar with the dashboard solution. All we're doing here is making calls of the table itself, and then we're doing a little bit of processing through this function node to format the numbers in a way that we can use. From there, we're simply writing to the dashboard element. And the cool thing about the dashboard is that it's not just unidirectional, it's bidirectional. So in the case of our serial input lookup, all we do is we take the input into our node, we build that to this function, which is a build unit history query, and this essentially allows us to run a query against our Flowfuse table. And what this allows us to do is to look up all of this information where the serial number equals the serial input from our dashboard. From there, we construct the query and push it out to the Flowfuse table itself. We get that data back and then we push it to unit history. Now all of these are working principally the same way. We're writing data to the Flowfuse table, but then we're extracting that data back and doing some sort of remixing or some sort of formatting so we can see it in our dashboard. So that's our first way that we surface the data. Our second way is to use Flowfuse Expert. Now in this flow, we're using our MCP nodes. So for example, if we look at get unit trace, this is a tool that basically returns the complete traceability record for one unit serial number. Every station event, all of the measurements, everything. And we define an input schema, that way the MCP server knows exactly what must be requested as part of this process. From here, we can take that request and then push to our function node, which builds the genealogy query. Now this is almost identical to what we were doing with the dashboard request. The important thing here is that we can push throughout all of these steps and then at the end return to the MCP response. So essentially making this get unit trace tool request triggers this entire flow as if it's its own data set. And that means that you have data on demand, on request. So that is our second way, but there's actually a third way buried in here. So for this next part, the first thing that you're going to have to do is go into your security settings for your instance and turn on Flowfuse user authentication. Now we're going to add a token. We'll call it Claude connector and give it an expiry date just for safety. And once you copy your super secret token, we'll get on to the next part. Inside of Claude settings, look for developer. Now you want to click edit config and add your MCP server like this. Now where it says auth header, you want to paste your token here. Once you save and restart Claude, you should be able to access your MCP tooling via Claude itself. So now with Claude properly configured, we can ask it questions about our line. It'll connect to our MCP tools and start processing all of our data. We'll need to allow requests as they come in, and here we have our full report for our line 3. You can see at the bottom it asks us if we want to drill into this particular issue, so we'll say go ahead. And not only will it process that data, it'll also call its own systems and its own solutions for wrapping that data or transforming it. So here we have the dive that it promised, as well as a most likely root cause that we can take recommended actions against to verify the fix. So this system solves your problem in one really important way. It makes your evidence capture continuous, not something that happens annually. And because of that, you can take a serial number and have a complete genealogy, a complete auditable trail of exactly what's happened with that item, that line, or that system that produced it. That means that any question you can ask actually has an answer. And the best thing about this is that everything that I just showed you is easy to implement and version controlled. That means that you can implement this on one system and then roll it out to all of your systems. And if you ever run into a problem that breaks that chain, you can address it and then roll out that fix to everybody. I said earlier that this makes evidence a query and not a project. And that's exactly the power of this implementation. If your auditor asks a question, you can take that exact question and ask your system. You don't have to hope that you have that data in situ or that you've recorded that answer. You can just go get that information without any headache. And that makes your system auditable. And an auditable system is a system that will pass the audit. We hope you liked this video. If you did, please consider giving us a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in deploying this flow, click the link in the description below to go to my GitHub where you can find this exact flow as an importable JSON. And if you'd like to get started with FlowFuse, then head on over to flowfuse.com to start your free 30-day trial. This has been Christopher Sandoval. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.